Hey guys, Long Live Games Guy here, and today we're going to be talking about the Last Airbender movie. It's part 2, baby, and today I pretty much want to cover all the inaccuracies in this dang film. Oh my goodness, y'all. But anyway, let me get this out the way first. I am aware that my last video cut off on me, so I was like, ah, shoot. I gotta I gotta go get some, I gotta go finish. I didn't get a chance to tell you the rest of the story. Pretty much what happens is, end of season 1, General Zhao destroys, Fish, uh, General Zhao kills Moon Spirit Fish, General Iroh first convinces the freaking princess to kill herself and sacrifice herself for the Moon Spirit. So she does that. Moon Spirit comes back. Sokka's heartbroken. Yada yada yada. Aang friggin' throws a tidal wave over the Fire Nation members, and and they run away. They all bow to him, and Azula comes out of nowhere. The Fire Lord brings out Azula, and she's just out of nowhere, and that's the end of the film. And they were setting up a sequel with that. That thankfully never happened. All right, that's the end. That's the end. Now let's get to it. Let's get to all of the inaccuracies in this dang. First of all, let's pick this apart. All right, hold up. The amount of characters that they skipped in this dang show is unreal. All right, I'm sorry. The amount of season 1 characters that they skipped is unreal. List of characters they skip include Jet, the Kyoshi Warriors, the Fortune Teller, friggin' Boomy, just to name a few. Just to name a few. And by the way, the Pirates too. They skipped the Pirates, which are a big role, provide a big role in season 1 actually. They skipped the Pirates too. Yeah, but again, that's just to name a few of the characters that they friggin' skipped in this movie, man. But man, let's just talk about the inaccuracies for a minute. First of all, they can't even get the freaking title right, alright? This movie's called The Last Airbender. It's obviously Avatar. Come on, guys. Alright. That's a little bit of a joke. It's a little bit of a joke, yo. That would be nitpicking, alright? But you know what's not nitpicking? Getting the freaking intro wrong. Instead of the intro that everyone knows and loves, air, water, fire, earth, all these elements are combined to, like, the classic intro. Instead of having that, they show the earth, fire, water, they show that, but there's no narration over it. I mean, it looks cool, but there's no narration. Also, the freaking movie, you know where her narration comes in? You know when freaking Katara's narration comes in? It comes in at this boring title crawl that just goes up. It's like a freaking Star Wars film. If I take that clip and put some Star Wars music over it, if you take the opening of this film, if the opening title crawl and put some Star Wars music over it, you probably be like, oh shoot, I'm probably watching a Star Wars movie. Now, obviously, that's a little bit of exaggeration since, the Star Wars opening crawls they have style. This doesn't. They don't even have the nerve. This opening crawl doesn't even have style. Like, sure, they get the opening right, but they don't get it right at the same time. It's like, how do you screw this up? It is the first dang thing you have to get right. The first dang thing! But I digress. Alright? So, everything's fine, right? But the name pronunciation in this joint. The name pronunciation in this movie You see, the name pronunciation in this movie, it makes me convinced that M. Night Shyamalan didn't watch a single episode of the show. What he probably did was that he went to Wikipedia, right? He looked up a very, very, very base synopsis of season 1, and then was like, "Oh, let's do this." I bet he didn't look at a single episode, yo. He didn't look at a single episode. He looked at a base character synopsis and a base synopsis of the season 1, and was like, "Alright, that's all I need. No more research needed." Like, I will bet my soul that's what he did, alright? I will bet my soul that's what he did. Cause you can't mess pronunciation like this up if you watch the show. You can't do it. It's not possible. It's not possible. Let me show you what I mean, yo.
From the show as well.
My name is Ong. I'm Aang. Sokka.
My name is Iro.
General Iroh.
Ong. Iro. Sokka? Heck, they even pronounce Avatar wrong in this movie. They pronounce it Avotar. What? Come on, guys. I told you, I'm not making this up. This man did not read. I'm sorry, he read, but he didn't watch a single episode or even hear the names. Ong! What the heck? What the heck is this? Yo. Come on, guys. Come on, Shyamalan. Come on now. If you can't get the name pronunciation right, what else? What else can they not get right? What about absolutely almost everything? Like, hear me out, y'all. Hear me out. Like, down to the casting, yo. Down to the casting. Listen, I'm gonna show you a series of images, and you tell me if these two images look the same. Hold up. So as you guys can see with those perfectly identical pictures, this movie's casting. Oh my gosh, the acting in this movie is so bad. The acting in this movie is so bad. Like, it's worse than you'd expect. I mean, it's just so bland and terrible. Listen to this piece of dialogue right here. Listen to this.
The Avatar is dead. If he was here, he would protect us.
My name is Ong. And I'm the Avatar. I ran away, but I'm back now. It's time for you to stop doing this!
The Avatar would have to be an airbender. Are you an airbender, boy?
Leave him alone!
How is he doing that?
I don't want to hurt anyone.
All airbenders should be dead. Kill him! Firebenders! Listen to
Like, you heard that acting, right? Like, the whole atmosphere of that scene felt wrong, right? Like, it is absolutely, like, it's terrible, yo. It is terrible. But surprisingly, so I always knew the acting was bad, right? This is even before I watched the movie. I always knew the acting was bad because I've seen, like, many other reviews of it complaining about the acting and stuff like that. But surprisingly, my biggest after with the freaking benefit of hindsight of the show, my biggest problem is no longer the freaking the acting. It's the pacing of this film. The pacing. It's horrible. The pacing is so bad. I mean, seriously, it's really terrible, awful. It's absolutely atrocious. And you're probably like, oh, well, why is it so bad? I'll tell you why it's so bad. It's so bad because they legit just, they legit just skip rock through season 1. All right? When you throw, those little, rocks in the pond, and you skip them through the freaking pond, and they skip through the water. That is exactly what this movie is like. That's exactly how the pacing of this movie is. All right, they go from the beginning quarter of episode 1 to episode 2 to 3 to. I'm sorry. They go from the quarter of episode 1 to half episode 2. I mean, like the second half of episode 2. Alright? They go to episode 3. And the end of episode 3, am I at? They go to the end of episode 3. Alright? And then they skip all the way to episode 10. And then they skip to the episode, I think like 14? The episode where Admiral General Zhao is trying to assassinate, hires the pirates to assassinate Zuko. They like that episode, and then they skip to the final arc of the freaking. They skip to the Northern Water Tribe arc. They skip so many, they skip from the first 3 episodes. They skip from they play barely half of the first 3 episodes season of episode 3 to episode 10, then to episode 14 or 15 or something like that, to episode to I don't know, the freaking finale season 1. They skip from beginning, middle, end. There's no pacing, and none of it, and that'd be fine, since, this movie's only 144 minutes. I've talked about the length of this movie in my other review in part 1, but, see, it's another, it would be fine if it flowed smoothly, if it felt smooth or flowed smoothly at all, but newsflash, it doesn't. It flows terribly, and you feel the rushiness. You feel how rushed it is, especially when you watch the show. I don't know if this, legit, with the benefit of hindsight of the show, it makes this movie 10 times worse, and you really start to get the full grasp of how bad the pacing is. Come on, come on, y'all. Come on, guys. They skip so many they skip so much stuff. They just freaking hopscotch through season 1, alright? And, man, hold on. Let me chill for a minute. Let me regain my composure. Again, the pacing in this movie is horrible, as you can tell. M. Night Shyamalan, again, wait, I don't know who wrote this. He wrote, directed, and produced this film, alright? So there's no one else I can blame for this. Thank you, Shyamalan, for making the freaking, path of blame very clear. That's one thing I can that's one thing I can thank you for, alright? That's one thing I can thank you for. But, man, oh man, another character inaccuracy is the characters. Sokka and Katara are represented so horribly in this movie. Sokka is just this freaking, emo boy, like even more than freaking, almost more than Zuko. He's just so freaking depressing in this movie. Sokka was kind of like the funny guy loser, and at least the first episode. I'm sorry, not the first episode. I mean the first season. Like in the first season of season 1, Sokka was the loser. He was the loser, but he never kept his hopes up, man. Like he was truly, like he was likable. He was likable. He was kind of a jerk, but he was likable, man. And he was a loser, but again, likable. And he was funny. He was very funny, and he was very funny in season 1 and throughout the rest of the show. But since this movie takes place all through season 1, barely, but it does. I'm gonna talk about how he was in season 1. In season 1, he was a very funny dude. He was a loser type. However, in the movie, he is nor funny. Like, he's a loser, but he's not funny at all. No, like he's such a deadbeat in this. He's such a freaking depressing guy in this movie. It's actually insane, cause he's like his acting is so dry. Whoever they got to play him is horrible. His acting is so dry in this, and I would, you know what? I can't even blame the actor on this one. Never mind. I won't blame the actor on this one, cause it's up to the friggin' director to friggin' show him how to act. To friggin' show him how to act. I bet Shyamalan just said, do your own thing. Since it's obvious as apparent throughout the entire film, they had no idea who the freak these characters were, right? Literally, come on, man. Come on, man. You gotta do better than this, man. You have to do better than this. And like, Sokka is such a freaking deadbeat in this, man. Like, he's not the funny loser guy anymore that he was in season 1. He's just like, this weird, like, he's just like this awkward, overprotective brother. I mean, he was protective, and he was protective in the show, but, like, he's not even sexist anymore. One of his biggest attributes in season 1 was that he was extremely sexist towards girls, and he doesn't even have that anymore. He's just bland, dry. He's just bland and dry, yo. This, like, Sokka in this movie is literally the freaking equivalent to bitter. He is the physical representation of bitter. Like the taste of bitter. If you had a freaking physical representation, it'd be Sokka in this movie, because my guy's just dull. My guy's just dull and boring and has no taste, no character, man. Like, it sucks. It's trash. It's actually trash. And oh my gosh, Katara. Katara was kind of like the she was the one with the motherly wisdom, right? She was a mother figure to Aang in the first season. She was a wise, she was supposed to be the smart one, the down-to-earth one. The, she could be she could be too trusting, and she acted on her emotions a lot. But, she was still she was like, and she was not useless. She was a waterbender, She was very protective of the tribe. She was a very motherly figure to the tribe, even more than the grandma, so, like, almost as more as the grandma. But here, she's just useless. She just asks questions, stands around. She may throw some water every now and then, but she's just useless. Here's one thing. She pushes the guy, right? She pushes the guy. As you just saw, she pushed the guy in the scene. That's pretty much the most useful thing that she does in the freaking film. Shinji doesn't do anything in this movie apart from ask questions, get knocked out, and just freaking argue with Sokka. That's like legit. That's her character. That's her whole character. That's her whole character in the movie. She is terribly misrepresented. Like, she is awful. Alright, she's just useless in the film. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't do much of anything. She doesn't say much of anything. She doesn't act like a motherly figure towards Aang. She treats Aang like more of a pet than a, you know, than something she needs to take care of. She's like, but we need to take care of him. But yeah, she doesn't even ask his name until they get to the northern air temple. Southern air temple. I'm sorry, southern air temple. Like literally. Come on, man. She doesn't even ask his name until they get to like the southern air temple. And again, they don't get, like in the show, they don't get to the southern air temple until about episode 3. So if we're going by the show's timeline, that means Katara would not ask Aang what his name is until episode 3. Like imagine if in the show, like Katara all of a sudden asks Aang his name in episode 3. You would be like, what the heck? Why she ask his name the whole time? Like you'd be like that, right? And that's how I am with this film. Like what? Like Shyamalan, come on, man. Like what? She is not the person she is in the show. She is terribly represented. You know it's also terribly misrepresented? The Fire Nation, alright? So the Fire Nation, let's talk about the bending real quick. Let's just talk about the bending in general. So the Fire Nation has to, so you know in the show, the Fire Nation, one of their attributes is that they don't need any, like they don't need any freaking they don't need any outside source to bend with. The waterbenders need water nearby. Earthbenders need to be on Earth or around Earth or near. Like they need to be somewhere close to any sort of Earth. Any sort of ground or something like that. Like they need to be around the Earth. But fire, like airbenders, can kind of just, airs everywhere, so they can just, they can just firebend whenever they can just airbend whenever they want. However, the firebenders in this show, they need fire around them. They can't just produce it from their hands anymore. They need fire. They need fire around them in order to in order to bend fire. I'm like, what? I'm like, wait a minute, what? Hold up a second. And you know what Sozin's comic does? Like, they mention it in this movie. You know what Sozin's comic does? You know what it does to them? You know how it makes them more powerful? It makes them powerful because with Sozin's comet, they can actually bend with their fingertips. They can actually bend. They can actually create fire from their hands. So, you're telling me, Shyamalan, is that Sozin's comet gives them the ability to do something that they could already do in the original show? Sozin's comet, the main ability that it gives them, it gives them the ability. Sozin's comet gives them an ability that they already had in the show. Wow! Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, like, come on, bro. You can't be serious, right? You can't be serious. Like, really? Really, my guy? Really? That's what you're gonna do? You're gonna freaking nerf the firebenders substantially by making them they have to, like, have fire nearby in order to bend. And then you're gonna have the nerve to say that Sozin's comet gives them the ability to freaking bend with their hands. Which is, again, something that they could already do in the show. Yo, what? Shyamalan. Come on, man. Oh my gosh, and the bending. Let's talk about the bending in general, y'all. So, you know, I mentioned that they go to the Earth. That they go to the Earth Kingdom, right? They go to the, I'm sorry, not the Earth Kingdom. They go to the place where the Earth Benders are being imprisoned by the Fire Nation, right? Now, I've already talked about their freaking surroundings and how they should have been taking these guys out a while ago, since literally they are surrounded by earth and mountain, like by nothing but dirt and mountains. Like no metal, no wood. They're not encased in like they're not in a metal boat. They're not in a wood crate. They are surrounded by dirt and dirt, grass, and freaking mountains. They literally have a whole playground. All right, the Fire Nation literally trapped them in their own playground. The Fire Nation are at a complete disadvantage here, and I have no idea why the freak they would decide to imprison Earthbenders in a place in one patch of land surrounded by Earth, surrounded by freaking objects they can just use to their advantage. There's literally Earth under their feet. They can do anything to you at any point. All it takes is one person to be. All it takes is like one person to be like, "Yo, okay, I'm tired. I'm gonna take these suckers out." Like, what are you waiting for? You should have been like freaking drive the Fire Nation out of there. But again, I digress. I've already talked about that, man. But let's talk about who knows. But I think I have the answer. The movie provides an answer of why the Earthbenders have not freaking driven the Firebenders out. It provides a very, very simple answer. All right. Now let me show you that answer. Let me show you the amount of bending that these Earthbenders can do. Let me show you. They did a whole freaking dance routine. They did a whole. If you did not see that, they did a whole. The Earthbenders did a whole dance routine. They did a whole Michael Jackson freaking dance routine. They did a whole Michael Jackson dance move, and that little rock. That little rock came out, yo. That little rock. Oh my goodness. Come on, man. Come on. That is exactly, and that whole thing is what the bending, that whole clip represents the freaking what the bending in this movie is like. Wow. And the thing that kills me is that rock slowly freaking glided across the freaking screen. And now, if you counted, that was about 6 Earthbenders, right? And they did a whole freaking Michael Jackson dance routine. Now, you would expect like a giant boulder to come zooming past at the freaking Fire Nation, or you know maybe a patch of ground next to them will turn into like a tidal wave or something like that, a tidal wave of dirt or whatever. No, man, they have this little rock just glide across the screen slowly. And the worst part, the Fire Nation member still got hit. It's like it still got hit. What? How? The Fire Nation member they were aiming at still got hit, sucker. That sucker must have been blind. He had to be blind. Like, there's no way. There's no way. If I saw that all he needed to do was take like a few steps to the left or right, and he would have been fine. Man, you know what? The movie, you know what movie? I won't criticize you no more. You provided a perfect answer of why the freak of Earthbenders, of why the Fire Nation were not fearful of these Earthbenders' abilities to Earthbend at all. Like, wow, man, wow! Come on, like, was the effects guy just trolling or something like that? Like, what happened? Why does it look like that? What's going on? Hold up. Hold up. Let's play that clip again for the people in the back. Hold up a second.
TJ on the beat.
Oh my goodness, I can't breathe. Oh goodness. Alright, yeah. Like, come on, man. Like, literally. If I wanted to, you know, this next clip perfectly represents what the earthbending in this film. I'm sorry, the bending in general in this film. Like, you know, in the show, it's like a quick martial art move here or there. Like, maybe a punch, you'll throw out a fireball. With a kick, you'll throw like a wave of fire, or like a, I don't know, a wave of fire, or a kick, you could throw like a wave of water, or earth. You know, one punch, you can like do a boulder. One stomp, you could possibly like shake the earth under you. Here, you have to do a full freaking form. A full martial arts form to do one thing. This clip perfectly represents my point.
Water. Water!
How is he doing that?
I don't want to hurt anyone.
All airbenders should be dead. Kill him! Firebenders! Listen to
And guys, I think I'm gonna end it off here because you know what? I'm gonna end it off here because because I'm pretty much done talking about a train wreck of a movie this is. Like, it's such a freaking train wreck. Like, everything is so bad about this movie, but man, I think I'll end it off here. I'll end it off on this note. I'll end it off on this note. If I could say one positive thing about the movie, the score is great. Alright, the score is legitimately good. The score is legitimately really, really good. In fact, just to end the video off, I'll just show you guys the freaking, the soundtrack. I'll just play a few of the soundtracks of the I'll just play like one soundtrack of the last, like a little piece from, this movie, man. You know, to show off that the score is pretty good, but this movie's terrible, guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys next video. Bye. This movie gets an F. And yeah, I'll just leave you off with this. See you guys. Bye.